I am not making this video to scare anybody, but rather I want you to see the big picture, the whole picture of what is actually going on within Social Security and why you need to be very, very, very aware of this as a disability beneficiary, because as I mentioned a couple times so far, this doesn't even need to happen, but rather they're basically going to crash the disability program because they're hard up for cash, as in Social Security is. Let me explain exactly what's going on here. Now, let's put this up on the screen right here, right now. This is a screenshot, okay? It's not an article, it's a screenshot. Now, this is one of these AI summaries. I like this because rather than putting an article up on the screen, it's just very clear and concise. Everything that we need to know is right here in this screenshot. And this is exactly what I want to talk about. Now, we need to go back a couple months ago now to when the Social Security Administration released the 2026 Social Security Board of Trustees annual report. This generally comes out, right around that May, June-ish time per year, and it came out. Now, here's the interesting part and the couple lines and numbers that I really, really, really want to focus on. Now, obviously, there's this insolvency issue within Social Security. Again, you probably heard me talk about it a bunch of times. I'm not going to talk about that a ton here, but it is something we need to consider. But here's what it comes down to. The Old Age and Survivors Trust Fund. Remember, within Social Security, there's two trust funds. The Old Age and Survivors Trust Fund, that's the one that pays out retirement, survivors, and spousal benefits. And then there's also the trust fund, which is the Disability Trust Fund. And that one pays out strictly SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance Benefits. Two trust funds. The Disability Trust Fund is totally fine. There's no insolvency. They have plenty of money within the Disability Trust Fund to pay out benefits out until the end of the century, like a lot of years, 75 plus years from right now. It's totally fine. It's the Old Age and Survivors Trust Fund that's the problem. That's the one that's running out of money and will be drained in about 6 years from right now. It'll be totally empty. Now, the big brainiac plan that they have, and I don't like this at all. I don't think this makes any sense whatsoever to do this, but this is the main plan that they continue to focus on because they don't have a solution to fix Social Security, and their solution is, let's just take down the whole program. Let's take down all the benefits at the same time. Let's fail the disability program, and this is a major problem, okay? And it doesn't even need to happen, but this is unfortunately what they're looking at. So here's what they're looking at. As of right now, the Old Age and Survivors Trust Fund is looking to be totally empty, as in insolvent, in the fourth quarter of 2032. That's a little more than 6 years from right now as I film this video, okay? It's not that far away. However, they've also found that let me step back for just a second. If the Old Age and Survivors Trust Fund becomes insolvent in 2032, they would have to cut benefits by 22%, and only 78% of benefits would be paid at that time. Okay. Now, they've also found that because the Disability Trust Fund has all this extra money in it, if they sweep the two trust funds together, combine the money within them, which, by the way, they'd have to change the law in order to do that. It is illegal for them to do that at the present moment, but they could do it if they change the law. They could sweep all the money together from the Old Age and Survivors Trust Fund along with the Disability Trust Fund together into one pot, and now it extends out the insolvency situation until, again, roughly the third or fourth quarter of 2034. So it gives us basically 2 more years of full benefits to be paid out. But then what happens? In 2034, basically, what is that? 8 years from right now, we get 2 more years of time. Then all of the benefits that are administered by Social Security, with the exception of SSI, would basically then be cut by 17%, and only 83% of benefits would be paid out at that time. Does that kind of make sense? So all it would really do is that it would basically take down the Disability Trust Fund and the disability benefits along with everybody else, and then everybody across the board would see a benefit cut of 17% versus the 22% just for retirement, spousal, and survivors benefits. But now everybody instead would get 2 more years worth of full benefits and then a 17% across the board for everybody. Does that make sense? But here's the deal. They don't need to do this, but they're thinking about it and they're talking about it and considering it, and they continue to talk about it in these annual reports because this is a way that they could basically sweep together billions of dollars more to make sure that they can pay out those promised full benefits for 2 more years. That's it. So they're risking basically failing the disability program and cutting benefits for millions and millions of disability beneficiaries when they don't need to in the first place, in an effort to literally pay out benefits at their full rate for 2 more years, and then basically take everybody down with the sinking ship. Does that make sense? In my take, that does not make sense whatsoever. I feel like the disability program is not broken. The disability program is working totally fine. It does not need to be changed at all. The disability program is great. Don't fix it if it isn't broken, okay? I think we all recognize that. That's like the long-standing saying with virtually everything out there. If it isn't broken, don't tinker around with it. Don't fix it if it doesn't need fixing. There's no point. That's the same thing with the Disability Trust Fund right here and disability benefits. So, unfortunately, this would impact, well, a lot of people. Again, at present moment, about 9 million people currently enrolled in disability benefits. They would be impacted in a major way if they were to do this. This is what I have to say at the beginning of the video. Nothing we need to worry about today, this week, this month, or even this year, but it is something as a disability beneficiary you would need to consider and think about. Now, there's a caveat to this. I hope people are still watching right now. If not, I guess I'm just going to talk to myself for the next couple minutes. But anyway, here's something else I want you to consider. Remember, when you achieve your full retirement age, your disability benefit automatically turns into a retirement benefit. It's no longer disability. They automatically transition you into retirement benefits at that point. So, if they, and again, if at the time that insolvency hits in between 6 and 8 years, whenever that happens to be, you could be getting disability benefits right now, but let's just say in 5.5 years in, 2032, when we roll over to 2032, you're getting, it transitions into a retirement benefit. You could have been fine at that point getting your disability if they didn't combine the trust funds. And then all of a sudden in 6 years, right? 6 years from now, approaching the fourth quarter of 2032, and if you automatically get enrolled into retirement benefits because you've achieved your full retirement age, now you get swept into the 22% cut. You see what I'm saying? So that's another nasty thing that a lot of people aren't talking about. In fact, I've not heard a single person mention that anywhere with all the research and everything that I've done on Social Security here, digging through the details on this. I've not heard a single person talk about the automatic transition from disability into retirement at full retirement age and how that could basically sweep people into the cut as well. It's a nasty situation. Anyway, I just want you to be aware of this. And again, I'm not here to scare anybody. I'm not here to instill fear in anybody. I just want you to be very, very aware of what is going on. Because at the end of the day, I fully recognize there's a lot of people out there. The majority of people rely on their Social Security, their retirement, their spousal, survivors, their disability benefit, whatever it happens to be, for the bulk of their income or maybe even all